Mr. Chair, if we can ask them to perhaps send to the committee via email your suggestions as to how we can craft a regulatory policy in the use of our social media platforms in the country. Other issues such as paano po kasi napakalaking problema talaga ng fake news. I'm sure hindi lamang ito sa Pilipinas, no. In fact, other countries, no, has also come up with regulations, no, dun sa kanilang bansa, no. For instance, sa Egypt, no, meron po silang nagpasa rin sila ng ilang mga batas to regulate the distribution of information and its accuracy in print and online media as well as social networks para pugsain ang paglaganap ng fake news. Meron din pong ilang mga journalists at website administrators suspected by the government of publishing fake news at sa tingin ko isa yun dapat nating tingnan din when we craft this policy. Sa Singapore naman po, meron din silang batas doon na nire-require ang social media platforms kagaya ng Facebook, YouTube, X na magkaroon ng warning sa mga posts that the government deems false at pinapayagan pa ang gobyerno to remove comments that are against public interest. Dito kasi sobra nananawagan ng kudeta, nananawagan ng kaguluhan sa bansa, no? So sa Singapore nga, di ba, nililimit yun. The government of Singapore will take down immediately all these contents or posts that proposes such violations or such actions. Sa Brazil naman, para sa kanilang 2022 elections, nagkaroon sila ng deal with Facebook, no? Para mapigilan ang paglaganap ng fake news in relation to the upcoming elections. Kabilang sa parte ng deal na ito ay ang number one, pag-prohibit sa mga advertisements which call into question the legitimacy ng kanilang elections. Kasi meron pong experience daw sila na hindi pa tapos yung election, meron na nagpapalabas ng resulta, no? Which creates confusion among perhaps their voters. Number two, yung removing posts that violates policies on our voter suppression. Number three, paglalagay ng mga label sa post about political elections at dinedirekta ang mga tao sa website ng kanilang electoral justice for more reliable information. So sa China, ganun din. In fact, hindi nga nila pinayagan pumasok dun yung mga social media platforms and they created their own, no, so that they can regulate and ano. So, gaya ng sinasabi naming paulit-ulit dito, the attempt of this committee or layunin ng committee ito ay bigyan puwang ang ating gobyerno na magkaroon tayo ng regulatory policy. Ayaw po nating maabuso ito. Gaya nga ng sinabi ng ilang resource persons, this is for the next generations to come. No? Other than that, of course, we heard serious and alarming information coming from websites that tried to create chaos in the country and confusion. No? Last hearing, if you recall, Mr. Chair, Press 1 PH ba yun? Your Press 1 PH, no? Press 1 PH revealed before this committee that there were several attempts, no, from a website that they discovered were coming from China to destroy the credibility of our president and the like, no? Meaning all other politicians for that matter. Meron naman din pong website that are coming from China which promote, no, other politicians or other candidates. So again, diba, may intervention, may interference yung mga foreign countries sa ating bansa which we should not allow. And we can only do that kung meron po tayong regulatory policy. So that's exactly what I want to say, Mr. Chair.
Congressman Barbers, kasi if you remember,
wait to be recognized by the chair, please.
Sorry po.
The rule of the committee is that please wait to be recognized by the chair before you speak. Okay? You
Sorry
want to
po.
say something? You have the floor.
Yes, kasi during the first joint meeting, yung February 4 po, nagkausap kami ni Congressman Barbers. Sabi niya, I can submit a proposal. So, yun ang ganyan ginawa ko actually. Immediately after the meeting, gumawa po ako sa bahay, tinapos ko po siya. I think inabot ako ng 7 pages na gumawa ako ng mga proposal. Yung mga nire-request niya. So, I sent it through email, pero wala naman po bumalik na response on that. So, it was a 7-page long list of recommendations about yung mga possible na pwedeng gamitin or gawin na parang regulatory. Kaya wala pong feedback kasi eh. Kaya walang nangyari.
That is correct, Mr. That's the reason why I gave him my email address so that he can email that to me and I can forward that to the committee.
So I'll email it again, sir.
Yes, please. Kasi baka nasa ibang email pumasok eh.
I sent it through the same email na nagpadala ng invitation.
And the COMSEC, so can you check your email, please, kung merong nakapasok sa
Anyway, I'll
Just name,
send it
you can
to you
send it
again.
to my email so I will just share it to the committee. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Castro?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Naniniwala po ako sa sinabi po ni Congressman Barbers. As of now, medyo mahina po ang regulatory body. As of now, wala po kasi sa social media. But with regard to the mainstream TV, radio, hindi po, sa tingin ko ay hindi ganun kalakas. Kasi meron po mga pinapalabas sa TV, sa mainstream, at yan po ay naipapasok din po sa YouTube. Mga programang nagmumura, yung mga host, ginagamit minsan yung mga bata kahit na yung mga magulang ay nag-aaway on air. Samantalang sabi po nga natin, kapag ka po ako'y uma-appear sa hearing especially involving children, hinihiwalay po ng korte ang mga bata para hindi po nila nakikita yung mag-asawa nag-aaway. Pero with these programs, nandiyan po eh. Kita naman po ito ng MTRCB. At yun nga po, pinapasok pa rin po ito sa YouTube. Involved po ang mga minor children. So, mas maganda po talaga kung magkakaroon po tayo ng hiwalay na regulatory body for the social media. And at the same time, sana call out na rin po sa MTRCB na mas maging meticulous sila sa pag-monitor po ng mga ganitong klaseng programa. Kasi gumagamit mo talaga ng mga pagmumura. Sabi nga po ni Congressman Barbers, yung mga pagmumura na yan, pinapakita kung paano ba sila pinalaki. At yung kanilang tunay na kulay ay lumalabas. Sana yun po yung maiwasan natin. Especially po, nagiging masamang ehemplo po ito. Lalo na kung sila ay nagiging leader ng bansa. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Let me recognize the online presence of the Honorable Amparo Maria Zamora, the Honorable Jefferson Congun, and the Honorable Jervil Jinky Luistro. Now, mention was made about freedom of speech and expression. May we ask Undersecretary Nicholas T. of the DOJ IACAT to brief us on the constitutional guarantees of freedom of speech and expression.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
You're
Chair.
recognized, Yusek.
I think it's been said already, repeatedly in this committee hearing, that the right to freedom of expression is enshrined in the Constitution. Nevertheless, just like any right that's in our Bill of Rights, this is subject to limitation. For freedom of speech, limitations are subject to what we call strict scrutiny. Nevertheless, such limitations can be upheld if they are deemed to be necessary and reasonable. And we've seen multiple instances of limitations on free speech, such as our libel laws, our laws against obscenity, and similar expressions that have been deemed criminal, that have been criminalized in our jurisdiction. So in a nutshell, Your Honor, we will support whatever it is, whatever endeavor this committee will have in aid of legislation to pass legislation that will better regulate this landscape of the internet, whether that regulation would involve specific regulation for vloggers or regulation or stronger regulation against internet intermediaries? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Yusek. Before we proceed to the administrative matters, may the chair recognize the Honorable Gutierrez for his short manifestation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, just a manifestation po. No, we had in some questions in mind, but I just wanted to bring it up for the record that we'd like to we'd have. I understand sa admin matters naman po yung presence po ng ating Meta and TikTok. I'm very much interested in what Commodore Tariela has to say, and especially Press 1 PH. I'm aware of some incidents regarding censorship in relation to the West Philippine Sea, and I think that's very germane to the issue here now. But unfortunately, wala pa po yung representative of TikTok. So I believe we'll be taking up naman po in the admin matters. So I will defer to that. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chairman Paduano, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. Since supposedly this had been tackled this morning. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy of several letters, coming from resource persons that was issued the show cause order during the February 4 hearing, Mr. Chairman. Now, most of these excuse letters citing almost the same, except for a few, almost the same reason why they should not be present in today's hearing. Now, let me take, for example, letter coming from a certain Richard Mata. He stated about questions of he's based in Davao, and he has also filed a petition for certiorari in the Supreme Court. And he mentioned about lack of willful disobedience, etc., etc. Now, it is, Mr. Chairman, the same is in the case of other invited resource person issued the show cause order. They have filed a petition for certiorari in the Supreme Court, and they are not once again present in today's hearing. Well, in fact, some of them mentioned about that they should not be cited in contempt. And just for the record, I would just like to correct all those resource persons that replied with regards to the show cause order by this honorable committee. We never cited them in contempt. We followed due process in this committee.